Hello.
So, we're gonna talk about what happened to
The crime.
her beautiful face. I was gonna say your beautiful face. So, we're at the park and we were like sitting like on these hills.
Well, you people were, not me.
Yeah, well, Dad and I were sitting on the hills. We were picnicking. We decided to do something fun and exciting, and maybe not exciting, but you know, cute for dinner. And then we were sitting here, and then what happened to Mia?
Let's show them.
You know I want you close, maybe hold your hand a little while. Somehow I know you're gonna be the girl that I'll end up calling my own. We ride around in style, sleeves rolled up, glasses on, and then you make that smile and my heart starts racing when I'm with you. You, when I'm with you. Ain't get enough of this. Being with you is like never-ending sunshine. Feels like every.
I'm gonna show you guys what happened. So I was jumping on these things. This step, I hit myself. I fell and I hit myself right over here. Then it's saying, I'm hurt, I'm hurt, I'm hurt.
Okay, she didn't really say. She didn't really talk like that. She was this poor thing, comes running like with her freaking hand in her on her eye, and then like she's bleeding. Like all I see is her hand being held. And then I was like, she was like, "Mom, I mean, at this moment, I don't remember what she said, but she said I'm bleeding or I'm hurt or something like that." And I was like, "Let me see." And like obviously we're looking at her, but since she got back up, like if she would have stayed unconscious, like I would have ran to her, but she got back up, so we didn't think anything of it. And then when she comes screaming and crying hysterically. And we're like, let me see. This little girl pushes her hand out of the way. And all I see is this big, like literally, like look how big it is. It wasn't only just wide, it was deep. Like I felt like I saw into her cranium. Like it sounds so dramatic. But at that moment I was like, holy cheese balls. I gotta think of no cuss words, but holy cheese balls. Like I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, like all this blood was like just like gushing through the side of her face. And I felt like her eye was gonna pop out. It was so scary. And I had to like keep her calm. She's like, I'm gonna die, am I gonna die, Mom?
That's what I think when I'm bleeding. I'm gonna die.
So I was like, no, you're gonna be okay. And obviously inside of me, I'm like, oh my god, if I don't hold, like, I'll put the picture, obviously, like down below here somewhere. And I had to hold her eye together because
Like
it was huge. Like it was like you know, it was like that much,
humongous,
just opened. It was so scary. And then at that moment, Dad decided to just like
pack everything.
I had packed everything because I never do this. Like I literally never do this. And I was like, let's just pack everything, put it in the car, and like, you know, to just have it put away. Like I never do that. I always just pack before we leave. And so thankfully everything that we brought for the dinner, yeah, it was already packed. And so it's, looking back now, I'm like, oh my god, what a poop show. And my husband was grabbing everything. Emily was the one that was kind of like, oh my god, like she was
just saying, Mia got hurt,
yeah.
Mia got hurt.
And then,
she knew what was going on.
Yeah, and then Sophia passed out. And because she was like, I'm telling you, like it looked really scary. Like it looked out of a movie how
Like how this looks like it's
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
but imagine all of that like opened up. Like I thought her eye was gonna like hurt, like the rest of
I
her
thought
eyelid.
my eye was gonna like rip, like it was gonna rip out.
Yeah,
my
like
brain.
I thought her whole eyelid was gonna come off, and all of this, I'm not telling her this. I'm like, you're fine, it's just a little blood.
And Daniela was
Daniela-
eating a chicken.
She was eating a piece
Yeah,
of chicken
chicken.
wing. Like that little girl didn't even know what was going on. She was like, whatever, eating a chicken wing.
She was eating it like it was ice cream.
Yeah, she was like so unaware of what was going on. And then we left to the car, and then we were passing through some lady that had been there like for as long as we've been here. She was like, I'm telling you, none of us thought it was something big. So the lady was like, oh, she'll be fine.
Just put a band-aid
Ponle una
on it.
curita. She was Cuban, so in Spanish she was like, ponle una curita. Eso no es nada.
And when my mom showed her, she's like, ay, mi madre.
Y me viré, like le enseñé. I'm like, señora, mire la cara. Ay, por tu madre, llévala para el hospital. Oh my gosh, she grabbed her kids and she left. Like, I was like, okay. So she did that, and then we got into the car. I'm holding her eye, driving to the hospital. She's like, I'm gonna die. And she was like crying. And then it ended up happening that we got to the hospital fairly quick.
Emergency hospital.
And she, as soon as we got to the hospital, she was like, put me to sleep. Put me to
Put me to
sleep.
sleep. I do not care what you do. Just put me to sleep, all right?
I don't want to feel anything. So, obviously they did not put her to sleep. They put a
Korean, that wouldn't hurt.
they put a numbing cream, and then they sewed it. That was just making a long story short, because I don't want this video to be too long, but just pretty much explaining what happened to her. And
They sewed it.
it was so scary. Like, I watched them freaking stitch her whole thing together. She got stick
Well, I
stitches.
pinched my mother when I.
She was pinching me, which wasn't even as bad. I thought she'd pinch me harder, but
I couldn't.
I
do
had to
anything.
watch
I couldn't
that
move.
be sewn together, and it was just like, it was so
Creepy.
weird. Yeah, it was so weird. And nothing. Here she is. Her eye looks
I'm
a little
alive,
bit better.
people.
Yeah, she's alive. She made it through her busted eye. But now she learned, after so many years of telling her to stop monkeying
Monkeying
around, now she knows to stop monkeying around. So yeah, okay, so she wanted to show some cool pictures of pretty much what her eye looked like when we got to the hospital and stuff like that.
She
So
wouldn't let me till the end.
yeah, I wouldn't let her see it because it was bad.
And when I tried to sneak and go, I asked her to the bathroom, and the whole reason why I wanted to go to the bathroom was to try to see through the mirror. Well,
But-
she did this, so I cannot see it.
Yeah, no, I didn't want her to see it because it was bad. It was pretty bad. In the picture you can kind of tell, like, you know, how big it is, but
All the pictures look like it's just Halloween.
it was twice as big as that. They just had it like a little closed with some tape for the medicine to kick in, so she wouldn't feel it, to numb it. But it was pretty bad. It was
Really
pretty
bad.
bad. So, are you gonna keep jumping?
No.